Dave Palumbo here for an RX news update. We are here with the Radical Body Transformation. Again, James Hergott, welcome back to the show. We have a bunch of coaches and competitors as well. Let's go to you first, however, as we always do. What is the update? We're at week number 8.
Well, we've got some of the greatest transformations from our cast back here, as well as many of the coaches. In no particular order, we've got Mark, Chad, John, Ernesto back from his truck fight, Mike and Roger, Catherine, Christy, Thomas, and Coach Michaela, Coach Jennifer, and Coach Mark. I think I got everybody. If I missed anybody, I forget, but this is like Hollywood.
I forgive it.
I'm so impressed that we could actually have everyone on the screen at the same time. I was worried that we wouldn't be able to do that. But
it's like Hollywood Squares.
Yeah, exactly. Now, what's interesting, is that this is a 12-week transformation challenge. Some people are trying to gain weight, muscle. Some people are trying to lose body fat, change their life. Some people are trying to compete. Other people are just trying to look better and feel good for themselves. Everyone has their own story. We've kind of gone through a lot of the stories already. We've talked to the coaches. But we brought everyone back here because we're at that critical point. Whenever you're 4 weeks out from any kind of like deadline, hey, I'm going to be in the best shape of my life, or I want to make a transformation, the last 4 weeks I find have always the hardest. And the reason is this twofold. The first reason is that you've been doing it for quite a while. So obviously you start getting a little burnt out, your body starts craving stuff. But usually also when your body fat levels get low, that's when you start to crave more food, because obviously now you're surviving basically on stored body fat, as opposed to having a little bit more in the reserves or in the tank, left in the tank, so to speak. Usually also as the challenge progresses, you're increasing cardio, we're decreasing food maybe, and increasing intensity so that we can make sure we peak that person at the 12-week mark. Let me go to Jennifer Lopez first, one of our coaches. What have you found in the people that you're working with have had what were the biggest challenges over these last 8 weeks?
I think just they struggled the most with nutrition, and even though I think it was mostly beating themselves up over cheating at random moments, because they did a really good job. Every single one of my competitors has been really focused on getting their nutrition right every week, making sure that it's on point. So whenever they even falter just a little bit, I hear about it from them. Right. So they're just their own worst critics, basically. Right. Yeah. They're all doing a really good job. They're so amazing.
Okay. Who's had the most weight loss of anyone you work with so far?
I think that we have one person. Her name is Jeanette, and she's not a part of the 8. Okay. She's just doing the competition, but she's lost like 25 pounds or something crazy like that.
Wow.
So I think that out of my people, she's probably the one that's lost the most. But Catherine is definitely, like, you're seeing on her a lot of added definition. You can tell that she's really building muscle, and you can tell that she's getting really, really strong. So I think she's losing body fat and gaining muscle at the same time. She's doing amazing. She's just a powerhouse at the gym.
We have Catherine here, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
What's up, Catherine?
Hi.
Talk to us. Now, obviously, you're on the job right now, right?
Yeah. My partner just pulled up next to me. I gotta tell him to be quiet.
Now, have you gotten compliments from the people that you work with? Have they noticed the difference, like, in your weight loss and the transformation you're making?
It's a constant thing where people are actually telling me that they can see the difference. And awesome. I'm fortunate that I get to work out on duty. I'm a school resource officer, so I work out at the high school. And the high school I work at, they just got $30,000 in gym equipment last year. So we're all kind of taking advantage of it. But one of the campus monitors stopped me, and he said, "Girl, I haven't seen you in your workout clothes, and you looking fit as hell." And so I'm getting compliments like that awesome. they really see the weight loss. They see in my face I'm slimming down.
I see it.
It's even on Facebook when I post it's a very hard thing for me to put my before and after, or before and current pictures out there. Yeah. But the comments that I'm getting are very positive.
We're putting them up on the screen. You look amazing. I'm looking. I see a lot of muscle. I see the abs starting to come in and everything like that. That's got to be very encouraging for you.
Yeah, it is, and just like in my one of my coworkers, and we're a team of 7, and I'm the only female. They all work out a lot, and one of the guys said, "Boy, you're getting veiny in my arms. The veins are popping out, and in my forearms, the definition there, and in my triceps, I've never had muscle definition like that before."
You have good legs too.
Very encouraging.
You have very good legs. You have a lot of muscle in your legs.
It's my quads are getting, even my hamstrings. It's like it's amazing how much muscle is there now. So, and it's got me pumped, and I'm at the point I'm doing like 2.5-hour workouts a day now.
Nice, excellent.
And I add extra things in, and I do a little more.
Yeah. Let's go to Mark. Now, Mark is one of our coaches, but he's also actually one of my clients now. I'm actually helping him get ready for a competition, which is great. And he's a very, as he must be as good a coach as he is a student, because he listens to everything I say. Mark, give us a little summary of some of the people you're working with and how they're doing.
That's for sure. My 2 guys, well, I can't say enough, because first of all, the way I have my system set up, especially for these 2 guys, they hear from me every day. I have a system where they have to log their workouts. I see their workouts. They have to log their food. Well, you do Ernesto's nutrition. I do Tom's nutrition, where Tom his nutrition, he has to log absolutely everything that he eats every day. I already know what he's eating because I told him what to eat, but he logs it anyways. So I'm able to follow it 100%. They get some kind of, usually I don't give them nasty grams. I might say, what are you doing here? What are you doing there? And, a lot of times I give them attaboys. It's like, hey, stay on track. You're doing what you have to do.
Yep.
And the proof is in the pudding, because between the both of them, they've lost almost 70 pounds between the both of them.
It's crazy. Yeah, they've had some really, really good results. Ernesto, we got you here, right? Are you still on the line? Ernesto was in his truck. I don't know. We might have lost him.
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, there you are. Okay. I don't recognize you anymore because you've lost so much weight.
Can you hear me? I can see you guys.
How much weight have you lost? You got a terrible connection. I think you better move over and take that truck and park in McDonald's parking lot. They got better Wi-Fi than wherever you are.
Yeah, he lost. Yeah, since his total onset, it's been 43 pounds.
You can't hear me at all?
No. Stop talking. I'll let Mark do the talking. 43 pounds is incredible, and he only got into 1 fight, which is pretty good.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. And Tom's total, right? I think 31 pounds. As of actually, his first weigh-in was the 14th of February, so he's actually lost over 30 pounds in basically a little over 7 weeks.
Insane. That's crazy. That's awesome. You guys are doing phenomenal. And Mark, you've actually made a little transformation yourself. Tell people when you're getting on stage.
Yeah. June 11th, I'll be...
Mark's connection's not so high.
BFF. I'll be representing Radical Body Transformations in the Transformation Division.
Cool.
I've done it once before, and then I'll be out in Las Vegas on middle of August with both Anthony and myself. Will be on the stage together.
That's awesome. How do they judge these transformation divisions when you compete at these shows? I never, because NPC doesn't have that. What's the premise of it?
For the WBFF, a couple of things. One is your story. They want a 100-word story about yourself. What made you do the transformation? What roadblocks did you have in your way to make this type of transformation?
Right.
Things like that. There's a lot of there's a lot of compelling stories out there. A lot of people, have had to swim through the muck to get to where they had to go. And then on top of it, it's the end result.
Yeah.
Before and after, and what how much of a transformation actually has.
Gotcha. Interesting.
Been made, and it also is how fit and how healthy do you really look?
Yeah, well, you look great.
So that's basically what they judge.
I have no doubt that you're going to do very well on that stage, especially since I have my my hand in there as well.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
No.
My ultimate goal is, since I'm 65 years old,
Yeah.
I'm usually the oldest guy out there. The premise is for me actually stepping out on stage is basically putting things forward, telling people, hey, listen, just because you're older, if you're a senior, doesn't mean you have
Right.
Well, stop. You still have your life in front of you. Doesn't mean that your life is done. I'm 65 years old. I feel like I started another chapter in my life.
That's awesome. Let's go to Michaela. Michaela, talk to us about who you're coaching and how they're doing.
So I am coaching Phil from Nova Scotia, and his goal was to gain muscle. And as of today, he is up 20 pounds.
Wow.
And he is 8% body fat. So I know it has gone to size and not fat. So
Nice.
he is doing absolutely incredible. His strength has gone up crazy. He started with a 95-pound bench. And last week he was doing 175 for reps. And every day, every week, he's telling me he's getting stronger. So he's doing absolutely incredible. He's working really hard. I think he might be getting tired of eating because I keep upping the calories and he keeps dropping body fat. But no, he's doing absolutely amazing.
You know, it's funny because do we have him here with us?
Yeah,
Oh, there you go. I thought,
and
okay.
I sent you some pictures of him too. It looks incredible, the amount of weight that he's added to his legs and arms and everything.
Let's hear from him then, if he's here. Tell us about the experience of trying to gain that weight. I mean, because a lot of people think it's easier to gain weight than it is to lose body fat, and I always say it's harder to put the muscle on because it's not easy to eat that much food.
Well, you know, Dave, that's probably the biggest struggle I have is with the diet, with eating. I mean, I've always stayed pretty slim because, you know, I would eat a large meal when I'm hungry, but now Michaela has me eating when it's time to eat. So that was a bit of an adjustment, really, trying to you know, I'm not hungry at all, but it's time. I have to force this into me. I've been making all kinds of crazy blender drinks.
Believe me.
Just force it in, right? But I mean, right away, like I've always eaten really, I don't know what it was, but I was just on a very, very low carb diet. And once Michaela had me putting all these carbs into me, I mean, my strength just started shooting up in the gym. It was incredible. It was like night and day, just with the adding carbohydrates, right?
You know, people know me as the ketogenic diet guy, but I always tell people when you're trying to put weight on, you have to eat carbs. And people are shocked when I say that because they say, "Oh, he's the ketogenic guy." No, when you got to eat carbs because the carbs get used as fuel so that the protein you're eating and fat you're eating can be used for building and repairing muscle, and that's the key. I mean, your legs got very big compared to what they were. I mean, there's a huge difference in I see in your legs, your lats. You know, I mean, it's so noticeable that people should be inspired by that. That was just done in 8 weeks too.
Yeah. No, I hope so. I hope it inspires people. It's been inspirational to myself. I didn't expect to put on 20 pounds in 2 months, man.
Yeah. Very, very impressive. Who else do we have here today that I haven't talked to?
Me, Christy.
Oh, hey, Christy. How's it going? Give us the update.
Well, let's see. I've lost 17 pounds so far.
Wow. Great.
Yeah. I think within the first 5 weeks, I lost 10 pounds. I gained 3 pounds of muscle, and I lost 10 inches all over my body.
10 inches? Wow. That is impressive. You guys have been, this is some of the best results I've seen from a transformation. I mean, you guys are really giving 100%. What would you say was the most important contributing factor to that transformation? Diet, exercise, cardio? What do you think did the most, or was it just the combination of everything, you think?
I really think it's a combination of everything.
Okay.
Just getting the combination just right.
So you weren't really doing anything right prior to this, is what you were saying?
Correct.
Okay. That's honest. That's honest. Now, do you see yourself continuing on this path even after this transformation is over in 4 weeks, since you've gotten such good results?
I do, because, you know, I'm looking at my body now, and even though, you know, people are commenting how, you know, that I look really good and I look thin, when I look at my body, there are so many changes I want to make. So I'm just not really happy with it yet. So.
Well, you know what happens? I think, you know, you make very, very, you know, fast changes and get rid of some of what I call the garbage weight, you know, and then you start getting, now you start getting a little more nitpicky. You're like, oh, well, I want to look even better than this. But that's good, because that's what inspires us to keep going, because a lot of people, some people are just lazy. They're like, all right, I lost 15 pounds. I don't care what I look like. I'm done. But it's better when you get like into that point where, you know, now you're demanding that your body look even better than it did, you know, than what you initially, you know, what your initial goals might have been. And that's how you get better and better and better. And it's an ongoing process, and people have to understand that just because we're doing a 12-week transformation, it doesn't stop there. You got to continue with this, even if there's a maintenance phase, or there's maybe instead of losing now you want to put on some muscle. It's a never-ending cycle. You need to continue, and if you do, you're going to keep getting better and better. And if you don't, you can go backwards. And I think that's also where our coaches come in, to, after the challenge is over, giving these people some sort of a maintenance plan so that they don't just go back to old ways. Anyone want to speak to that?
I don't even think you can hear me.
Oh, there you are. I got you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I think for most of us on the show, well, at least for us on here now, I think all of us are going to continue. And I think it's great that we are still a part of the community even after the 12 weeks. I think we've become a family. Even though some of us haven't met each other personally, I think just the way we're motivating each other is actually a huge part that's keeping us going and accountable to each other as well. Because it's nice to be accountable to your coach, but it's a lot nicer to be accountable to your friends in the group as well. Seeing each other's progress and motivating each other, at least that motivates me as well. And I'm so proud of everybody in the group, how far they've come. And I just hope that they continue after the 12 weeks. So maybe end of the year, we can come back on your show and you won't even recognize anyone of us.
How much have you lost?
About 43.
43 pounds. Wow. In 8 weeks.
Yeah, and I just had my refeed last week. I had 4 burgers. And so, yeah, I've been having refeeds and everything, and my body's responding well. But I have to say, I mean, I do, you know, I train very hard. I do my 4 sets, 12 to 15 reps, the heaviest weight I can carry for the most reps. I do my 1,000 calories a day cardio. And it's funny, like the way that Dara explains it to me, like when my body is slowing down a little bit, I will just have a crazy meal. And then 2 days later, it just continues to drop again like crazy. So it's I'm liking it, so the way that I'm eating, definitely, and the training. And I would say that the calorie restriction without the refeeds, I tend to get a little bit tired, especially on back days when I do back and biceps, because I do back really hard, and leg days. But the refeeds seem to just give me that little bit of extra, I won't say energy, I just feel a little bit different a couple of days after the refeed. But everything's been great. The meals are great. Everything's been great, yeah.
Well, you know what happens? I think a lot of people don't realize, you know, the refeed meal, which I call the cheat meal, but it's probably a bad thing to call that, because I think some people, they hear cheat meal, they think they got to go to Dunkin' Donuts and they got to eat everything in sight. But the refeed is important because your body starts stagnating a little bit on the diet. And there's a number of reasons why that happens. But one of the reasons is your thyroid function can slow down because your body kind of catches on to what you're doing. So the refeed is it's like kind of like a mental get out of jail free card. It kind of frees your head up a little bit, but it also metabolically stimulates your body. So even though you might gain a few pounds the next day from fluid retention, you know, from glycogen loading the muscles, by glycogen loading those muscles, you're telling your thyroid gland, everything's cool, we got plenty of food here, don't worry about it, and it speeds itself up again. And I think that's why a lot of people after a refeed, like 2 days or 3 days later, they notice a big drop in weight if they're doing it right, and they're not overdo, because some people can overdo the refeed, and I think that that's important. And you know, sometimes on these quick challenges like we're doing now, I might not use a refeed as much as I would do it if there was a long diet or if it was a bodybuilder who's getting ready for competition. But it's definitely a tool that can be utilized when people start stagnating. another thing a lot of people don't realize is when people start, they can't lose weight or the weight is not dropping and they're being strict on the program, a lot of times rather than cut more food out, sometimes you need to add more food in, and that sometimes will stimulate the metabolism. So that definitely is no. Let me go to you, James. I'm really happy with the way this has gone, and I think that the community has kind of like latched on to some of these stories that we've been hearing from our competitors and have been motivated by it for sure. But where do you go from here? I mean, your show is constant, and what's the next step for you?
Well, of course, we really preach taking the ball and running with it in the first place. So that's kind of what the challenge is. But over and beyond that, what we really want to do is talk about lifestyle change, and we want these things to be sustainable. And with our coaches, we don't, want to just put people on some kind of a crash diet and have them lose weight. We want something that, they enjoy eating, that they are eating a reasonable amount, and also, exercising and doing things that just become part of their lifestyle. So we really encourage that, and the community encourages that. So there's a ton of people that are also, in addition to the people competing, they're also just following along and engaging in their own transformations at the same point in time. And, Anthony Lawley, who is, one of our executives, he's competing this weekend in Orlando. And, of course, he lost 125 pounds, and he's maintained this lifestyle now for over a year. And now, he got bitten by the competition bug. And of course, not everybody needs or should compete, but I think that the trick is really to get people to change their mentality first, and then their lifestyle second, and then continue on from that. And I think that what Johnny was talking about, where you have a community that encourages each other, is really important, because it's just one of those things. It's like everybody checking on each other, and sometimes people have bad days and they come on and they say, it was really hard to get up and do cardio today, and everybody else can empathize with that and really encourages them. So, and they share information, what should I do? It's, it's Easter. I want to do this with my kids. What's an alternative that I can have? And I love that kind of aspect of it. And I just sent you some more pictures. I sent you some pictures of Christy and as well of Johnny. If you look at Johnny's face, it's incredible the change that he's made.
I'm ready for TV.
I always tell people, I said, when I was dieting for competitions, and you can be dieting for a radical body transformation, you could be dieting for a bodybuilding competition at a high level, you could be dieting just for, your trip to Miami, for vacation. Oh, wow, that's a big change, definitely. Look at that. But the key is, if it's important enough to you to make your best transformation, the holidays, the family outings, the little mini, what I call diversions that happen during that 12-week or 16-week diet, whatever you're doing, shouldn't matter. It shouldn't distract you. And if you do have a holiday celebration, make that your refeed meal. You got to be able to schedule things into your protocol. You can't use, my family came over, I had to eat, 6 meals with them for the last 3 days, and it was all junk food because that's all they eat. No, you know what? Not acceptable excuse. If you're doing a transformation, if you're dieting, your family will understand. You can pick the foods that you eat. You don't have to gorge on carbohydrates just because they are. And it's not going to happen. You're not in jail for the rest of your life. It's a very short time period. Schedule the stuff that you have to do. And if you do that and you're prepared ahead of time, you're not going to get caught at your relative's house. I have no food. I don't have shakes. Well, that's whose fault is that? It's your own fault. You got to prepare, and you got to bring what you need with you. And if you do that, you're going to get great results. And I see all our competitors are making tremendous, tremendous strides. I want to congratulate you all. We got 4 weeks left in the challenge. We'll do another update in 2 weeks, and then the final update will be after the challenge is over, and we'll see who won and who had the best results. And then I want to know everyone's results, because I love to hear these great stories. Thank you all for joining us again today.
No problem. Dave, you forgot Mike and Roger.
Oh, Mike and Roger. That's right, with my Species Nutrition shirt.
Yeah.
How could I?
They're just forgettable. That's okay.
No.
That's all right.
Give us the update. Quick update, guys.
Things are going really well. I gained probably 8 pounds.
I've gained about 12 pounds.
So, we hear 43 pounds lost. We're struggling to get 10 pounds.
Well, yeah, but you guys didn't have that much to lose to begin with. So I think that's not really the I think what you guys accomplished was just as impressive. You just didn't have a lot of body fat to lose,
Yeah, we're trying to recompose our bodies, and I think it's working. I think it's going really well. We're talking about, what happens after the competition, and this is the beginning of the rest of our life. Right. We are RBTers for life. We're going to stick with it. We still looking to be coaches, maybe games, just sticking it in there again. You can talk about that another time, but this is the way of life for us for the future. Paying it forward, helping each other get where we want to be.
You want to give us, how about let's see a front double bicep from you guys.
Oh, stop it. We were going to go shirtless.
I know you guys are dying to hit a front double bicep for us.
Nice.
That's what I want to see, a little friendly competition right there. I know you guys look good, and that's why I wanted to see those biceps. You guys got some good physiques on you. And you guys made some really good changes to your body. That's impressive. I'm impressed when sometimes with the small changes that people that necessarily you look at them and the average person would say, oh, those guys look good already. But then you see them after and you're like, holy mackerel, they really did make a good change in their body,
Yeah, a lot of people are asking us what we're doing, and we're happy to help them out with it. And it's kind of cool to be able to help people transform their body.
Gotta
hey,
pay
Dave,
forward.
You want to see guns? Johnny has guns.
Let me see, Johnny.
All right, Johnny, go on.
They're not as big as yours.
Let's see some guns, Johnny.
Johnny, show him. Don't be shy.
I've got a jersey on.
If he would have only turned his camera sideways, we would have been able to fit him in the frame. Oh shit! That's a big arm. That's a pretty big arm there.
Looking good.
Small, 53 centimeters.
Hey,
small.
Johnny and I are pretty even. I think I want to arm wrestle. I think I want to arm wrestle Johnny.
No more fighting, Ernesto.
I think we should have a pose down.
You already beat up one person. I'm gonna send. What's her name after you to arrest you, Catherine.
I want to pose down with Ernesto at the end of the 12 weeks.
I think at the end we should all have a virtual pose down. I'll have to put them right up on the screen, all next to each other. We'll have to see who's got the biggest guns. Well, Catherine might have the biggest guns of all you guys, but
And Chad has the biggest gut. He came down from 500 pounds, and I don't think we asked him how he's been doing.
Oh, talk to us, Chad.
Chad, how you doing?
I'm all right. Thanks. I had a little bit of a setback about 2 weeks in there where I was walking and stepped in a hole, twisted my knee. So holding knee injury kind of set me back a couple weeks. But I'm down close to 70 pounds. So
wow, great job.
Damn.
But it's like Dave and I talked to Dave. Dave, we talked about this, and I talked to James about it. I'm a 500-pound guy, right? So 65 pounds, almost 70 pounds on me. It's not even that noticeable. You guys know, I lose weight all over my body. So
you can see it in your face, though. We can see it in your
a little bit
face.
frustrating because when I look in the mirror, I don't really see the results. But I'm sticking with it and still pushing. So I know my transformation. The majority of my transformation is probably going to come well after the challenge is over with. But I'll tell you what, man. Just watching everybody else, Mike, Roger, Tom, Ernesto, Johnny, all those guys, Christy, all those guys have been keeping me motivated because those guys all look freaking amazing. Their transformations are awesome. And, that's what's been keeping me going. And, it's been hard some days just mentally trying to stick with it just because I'm like, man, I'm just not seeing the results. And I'm my own worst critic. I'm hard on myself. So, but I'm in it. I'm in it to stay. And like I said, my biggest thing is going to be, well after this transformation ends, I'm just going to keep pushing forward, and I'm just looking forward to meeting my goal so I can jump out of that airplane when I get to goal.
You know what? The truth is, you want to get inspired. If you think you're not making any good results, take a look at your picture when you first started and look at your face, and now look at it now. It's like night and day. You don't even, if I just saw your face like I am right now and I didn't know how big you were, I would never in a million years guess that you weighed 500 pounds, or even 400 for that matter. So your face has come down a lot, which tells me that your body is recompositioning itself, and you've probably lost a tremendous amount of body fat on top of that. Are you right? Do you have to continue? Yeah, this is probably a 9-month to 12-month journey you're going on. But if you keep going in the right direction, you're gonna reach that goal eventually.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah, I definitely will. I mean, there's no, I'm not going to quit. I'm pushing through every day, even on the hard days like everybody else. So.
Yeah, you know what the truth is though? True champions, I always say, are made on the hard days, not the easy days. It's the hard days, getting through them, going to sleep instead of eating that box of cookies, because you feel bad about yourself. Because the next morning when you wake up is another day, and you're going to feel better, and it's going to change your mindset. And so don't sabotage yourself. Stay focused. That's why you got the coaches here. Contact them, annoy the crap out of them, and let them inspire you.
I'll tell you something that's been huge for me in the last few weeks. I kind of talked about it at the very beginning when we started, but I was really pushing to get it done. But I built my own home sauna, so I have like a wood-fired sauna outside.
Nice.
So man, I've been hitting that thing every day. And on the hard days when I didn't want to do anything or I was really struggling, I go in there and fire that thing up, and it'd be 160 degrees in there. It really has helped me a lot because I can just sit in there.
Yeah.
It's quiet. I sweat it out, and it just gives me a lot of time to kind of think and just, kind of work through what's going through my head. So that's been pretty cool.
It's a journey, and you know what? I can't even, and I always tell people this also too, especially when people come to me and they're like frustrated with results. I say, how long did it take you to get out of shape? Don't expect it to reverse itself in 6 weeks or 8 weeks or 12. You got to put the time in. And as long as you see that the progress moving forward, and your coaches are inspiring you and giving you good feedback, you'll get there. It's just you got to be patient because you took a long time to get out of shape. Now you're gonna have to take a little bit less time, but you got to be patient and you'll get back in shape. And that's the name of the game, guys. Keep up the great work. 4 weeks to go. We will be following you guys like a fine-tooth comb for the next 4 weeks. 2-week updates coming up. Thank you, James. Thank you to all our coaches and our competitors. I'm Dave Palumbo with another RX Muscle Radical Body News Update.
Bye, guys.
Take care, guys.
Bye.
See you guys.
Awesome.